a slow breath in and gently breathe out. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember. This story does not ask for your attention. It only asks that you allow yourself to rest. There is a place beyond time, beyond urgency, beyond the noise of the waking world. It is a place where evening never fully becomes night, and night never feels heavy. The sky there is deep and calm, colored in soft shades of blue and silver. Stars move slowly across it, as if they are breathing in and out. Just like you, the air in this place is warm and gentle. It touches your skin without asking anything from you. With every breath you take, the world you came from feels farther away. Each sound softens, each thought slows. This place is known in ancient memory as the Garden of Eternal Dusk. You do not need to search for it. You have already arrived. The ground beneath you feels safe and steady. Each step is unhurried. There is no destination, no correct direction. You simply move forward, or perhaps you remain still. Both are equally welcome here. Tall trees stand quietly around you. Their leaves whisper in a language older than words. They speak of rest, of endings that are gentle, of beginnings that can wait. The trees are not watching you. They are resting with you. At the center of the garden, there is a lake. Its surface is smooth and perfectly still, like glass at rest. The lake does not reflect your face. It reflects calm. As you sit beside the water, your thoughts begin to loosen. They do not disappear. They simply lose their weight. Worries drift like leaves across the surface, touching the water once, and then slowly sinking. Nothing needs to be held onto. The lake makes no sound. It asks no questions. It allows everything to settle. From somewhere nearby, a presence approaches. Not suddenly, not loudly. It is a presence that understands silence. This is Hypnos, the ancient keeper of sleep. He moves gently, as if he does not wish to disturb the night itself. His voice when he speaks is low and calm, like a whisper carried by still air. Rest is not something you must earn, he says softly. It is something you remember. He sits nearby, saying nothing more. There is no need for conversation. His presence alone is enough. Your body begins to feel heavier, but in a comforting way. Supported, held by the ground beneath you, every muscle slowly releases the effort it has been carrying. Above the garden, the sky darkens just a little. This is Nyx, goddess of the night. She does not speak. She simply wraps the world in protection. Nothing from outside can reach you now. The stars soften. The edges of thought blur. Time stretches and then gently dissolves. You begin to notice you're breathing again. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out gently. With every breath out, your body sinks deeper into stillness. With every breath in, calm spreads a little further. The garden remains around you, but it grows distant. Like a memory you no longer need to hold. Like a dream that is already forming. Thoughts may come and go. You do not need to follow them. They drift past like clouds, changing shape, fading on their own. breathing out, nothing is required of you. Nothing is expected. Sleep moves closer, not like a wave, but like a tide. Slow, certain, gentle. Hypnos stands quietly and walks away. He never stays to watch someone fall asleep. Sleep must feel natural. Nyx remains. The night remains. The garden fades, but its calm stays with you. It settles into your breath, into the softness of your body, into the quiet space between thoughts. Every night from now on, this place is never far. It waits patiently. It does not rush. It does not forget you. And now, there is nothing left to do, nothing left to listen to, nothing left to imagine. You rest. You drift. You sleep. In the ancient lands of Ireland, people believed there was a place beyond the edge of the visible world, a place untouched by age, untouched by sorrow, untouched by time. They called it Tir na Nog, the land of eternal youth. It was said that no one there grew old. No one knew illness or weariness. Time moved differently, like a slow and endless evening. Uisín was a warrior and a poet, a member of the Fianna, protectors of the land. He was strong, but gentle in spirit. His words carried music, and his heart carried longing. One quiet day, as Uisín stood near the shore, a woman appeared riding a white horse across the sea. Her name was Niamh, of the golden hair, daughter of the king of Tir na Nog. Her voice was calm. Her presence felt like a dream. She spoke of her homeland, of silver trees, soft music, and endless peace. And she invited Uisín to come with her. Uisín mounted the white horse, and together they crossed the water, the waves parting gently beneath them. The world he knew faded behind him, growing quiet and distant. In Tir na Nog, Uisín lived in ease and beauty. Days passed without effort. Nights came without darkness. Music filled the air. Laughter echoed softly. Rest came naturally, without the need for sleep. Uisín did not feel time passing. To him, it seemed as though only a few peaceful years had gone by. But one day, a quiet longing stirred within him. He wished to see Ireland once more, to stand again on familiar ground. Niamh agreed, but warned him gently. She placed one condition upon his return. He must not touch the earth of Ireland. Uisín rode back across the sea on the white horse. When he arrived, Ireland had changed. Forests were thinner. Stones lay broken. The Fianna were gone. Centuries had passed. Seeing a group of men struggling to lift a heavy stone, Uisín leaned down to help them. And in that moment, he fell from the horse. His feet touched the ground. Time rushed back into him like a sudden wind. Youth faded. Strength dissolved. In an instant, Uisín became an old man. But the legend does not end in despair. It is said that as Uisín lay upon the earth, his memories of Tir na Nog remained gentle and bright. The peace he had known did not leave him. And so the Irish believe that even when time returns, even when the world changes, the memory of deep rest never fully disappears. As you lie here now, breathing slowly, you are closer to Tir na nog than you may realize. Not as a place, but as a feeling, a softness, a release from effort, a moment where time loosens its hold, breathing in, breathing out. In ancient Egypt, long before the desert knew silence, people believed that the rhythm of life and death was guided by the gods. Among them were Isis and Osiris, rulers of harmony, balance, and renewal. Osiris was a just and gentle king. He taught people how to grow crops, how to live in peace, how to respect the cycles of the earth. Under his rule, the land flourished. Isis was his wife and equal, a goddess of wisdom and quiet strength. Her presence was calming. Her voice was said to steady troubled hearts. But Osiris's brother, Set, grew restless and jealous. He desired disorder, and through deception, he brought about Osiris's death, scattering his body across the land. When Isis learned of this, she did not cry out in anger. She did not rush. She began a journey. Night after night, Isis traveled along the Nile. She moved through reeds and moonlit water, guided by patience rather than fear. Each step was deliberate, each breath steady. Wherever she went, the land grew quiet, as if listening. One by one, Isis found the pieces of Osiris. She gathered them gently, speaking no words, allowing the stillness to do its work. The ancient Egyptians believed that silence itself held power. When her journey was complete, Isis wrapped Osiris in linen, as carefully as one would wrap sleep around the body. She spoke sacred words, not to wake him fully, but to restore balance. Osiris did not return to the world of the living. Instead, he became ruler of the underworld, guardian of rest, renewal, and the afterlife. From that moment on, the Egyptians believed that death was not an end, but a deep and necessary sleep. A pause, a return to order. They believed Isis still watches over those who rest, over the sleeping, over those between worlds. As you lie here now, breathing slowly, you are part of that same ancient rhythm, the rhythm of day giving way to night, of effort giving way to rest. Breathing in, breathing out. Your body, like the land along the Nile, is allowed to be still. Your thoughts, like water, are allowed to settle. Nothing needs to be repaired tonight. Nothing needs to be completed. Rest is not forgetting. It is renewal. And just as Osiris found peace in stillness, you too are allowed to drift. The night surrounds you, quiet, protective, enduring. Long ago, in the cold and quiet world of Norse myth, there was a god loved by all others. His name was Balder. Balder was the god of light, of peace, of gentle words and calm presence. Where he walked, anger softened. Where he spoke, silence listened. He lived in Asgard, the realm of the gods, in a hall called Breidablik, a place so pure that nothing unclean could enter it. The light around Baldur was not harsh. It was warm and steady, like a quiet morning that never rushed. But one night, Baldur began to dream. His dreams were not loud or frightening. They were heavy, filled with shadows and endings. He dreamed of falling, of darkness, of stillness deeper than sleep. When Baldur spoke of these dreams, the gods grew uneasy. Dreams, in Norse belief, were not empty images. They were messages. Baldur's mother, Frigg, goddess of love and protection, felt a quiet fear settle in her heart. She decided to act, not with force, but with care. Frigg traveled through all the 9 worlds. She spoke to fire and water, to stone and metal, to sickness and beasts. She asked each thing to swear an oath, never to harm Baldur. Fire promised, water promised, iron promised, wood and stone and poison and disease all gave their word. When Frigg returned, she believed her son was safe. The gods tested this new peace. They laughed gently as they threw stones and blades at Baldur, watching them fall away harmlessly. Nothing could touch him. Nothing could hurt him. But there was one thing Frigg had overlooked. Mistletoe. It seemed too young, too harmless to matter. Loki, the trickster god, noticed this. Quietly, patiently. He shaped mistletoe into a small dart and placed it in the hand of Herther, Baldur's blind brother. Herther did not see. He trusted. The dart flew, and Baldur fell. The light of Asgard dimmed. The gods fell silent. No cry came from Baldur's lips. Only stillness. Baldur's body was carried to the sea and placed upon his great ship. The gods gathered around, not in anger, but in grief too deep for words. Fire was lit. The ship drifted away, and Baldur passed fully into death. But death, in Norse myth, is not an ending without meaning. Hermother rode to Hel, the realm of the dead, to ask for Baldur's return. Hel agreed, on one condition, that every being in the world weep for Baldur. And so they did. Gods wept. Humans wept. Stones and trees released moisture like tears. All but one. A giantess, believed to be Loki in disguise, refused. And so Baldur remained. But the myth does not leave him in darkness. The Norse believed that after Ragnarok, after destruction and renewal, Baldur would return. He would walk again in a restored world. Calm, gentle, unchanged by death. Baldur became a symbol not of loss, but of peace, waiting beyond turmoil, of light that rests rather than burns. As you lie here now, breathing slowly, Balder's story is not one of fear. It is a story of quiet cycles, of rest after effort, of stillness that prepares renewal. Like Balder, you are allowed to rest without defense. You do not need to protect yourself from the night. The darkness does not come to harm you. It comes to hold you. Thoughts fade like distant firelight. The body softens. The mind grows quiet. And somewhere beyond effort, beyond worry, beyond wakefulness, peace waits. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it flow out gently. Let the quiet night surround you. Allow your body to sink into the surface beneath you. Allow your mind to drift. Long ago, in the earliest days of Japan, before the mountains had fully settled and rivers had fully carved the land, the gods moved among the earth and the heavens. Among them was Amaterasu, the sun goddess, the source of light, warmth, and life. Amaterasu was gentle but powerful, and her light bathed the world in safety and growth. Every morning her radiance touched the mountains, the forests, and the rivers, allowing life to thrive. She was beloved by gods and mortals alike. Her presence was steady, like the soft warmth of a morning that never hurries. But one day, her brother Susanoo, god of storms and chaos, entered her sacred space. He was restless, loud, and unpredictable. His actions upset the balance of the world. Amaterasu, weary from the conflict and seeking peace, retreated. She entered a great cave, shutting its massive stone doors behind her. Immediately, the world outside fell into shadow. The mountains, rivers, and forests were cloaked in darkness. The animals grew quiet. The people feared the endless night. The other gods gathered, unsure of what to do. No light could reach the earth. No warmth could touch the land. Even the gods felt the quiet weight of stillness. One deity, Ame-no-Uzume, stepped forward. She understood that patience, gentleness, and subtlety might bring Amaterasu back. So she began to dance, slowly at first, then with growing joy. She laughed softly. She played music on small instruments, letting the sound ripple into the dark. Amaterasu, hearing the gentle sounds, paused in her cave. Curiosity stirred within her. She did not move quickly. She did not rush. She simply listened. The other gods joined, speaking quietly, creating a rhythm, a calm hum, a presence that said, "You are needed, but you are safe. The world waits for you without pressure." Amaterasu peeked from the cave. She saw her reflection in a mirror that the gods had placed outside. The light of her own presence glimmered softly. She realized that her absence had created stillness, but also longing. She realized that the world was quiet, but not without hope. Slowly, with deliberate calm, Amaterasu stepped out of the cave. The stone doors opened gently behind her, Sunlight spilled across the mountains, the rivers, the forests, and the fields. The world exhaled in relief. Life began to move again, not in haste, but in a gentle rhythm. And so, the sun goddess returned. She did not rush. She did not burn. Her light was warm, soft, and steady. Her presence reminded all beings, mortal and divine, that even after stillness, even after retreat, calm and renewal could return. As you lie here now, breathing slowly, you are in your own quiet cave, safe from the world's demands. Like Amaterasu, you do not need to rush. You do not need to force your light to shine. You only need to let it rest, let it exist gently, and allow it to return naturally. Breathing in, breathing out. The darkness around you does not harm. It is the quiet space before renewal. It is the stillness that allows life and warmth to return. Your body grows heavier with each breath. Your thoughts drift softly like clouds across the sky. You do not need to grasp them. You do not need to follow them. The night holds you, steady and gentle. It is patient. It waits with you. It whispers softly. Rest is enough. Rest is safe. Rest is welcome. And as you breathe, the light of your own calm returns. Slowly, quietly, without urgency. Like Amaterasu stepping out of her cave, the warmth moves through you. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to rise. You only need to drift. Your body softens. Your mind grows still. Long ago, in the earliest cities of Sumer, people believed that gods walked among the earth and sky. Among them was Inanna, goddess of love, beauty, and life, and also of courage and transformation. Inanna was radiant, and the world felt alive where she walked. Her steps touched flowers, rivers, and stones. Her voice carried the rhythm of life itself, gentle and strong at once. But there came a time when Inanna felt the pull of another realm, a place of stillness, of shadow, of quiet waiting. It was the Underworld, the domain of her sister Urashima, ruler of death and rest. The Underworld was not cruel. It was not frightening. It was a place of pause, a place where all things must one day rest. Inanna prepared for her journey with care. She dressed slowly, placing each piece of her divine attire over herself with calm attention. She did not rush. She did not speak. Her mind was still, her breath steady. As she descended through each gate of the Underworld, she paused. She removed layers of adornment, gently, deliberately, leaving behind all urgency, all distraction, all excess. With each step, the world above grew distant. With each breath, the quiet of the Underworld grew closer. The air was cool and still, holding her gently. Her heart did not race. Her thoughts softened. At the lowest gate, Inanna faced her sister Ereshkigal. Ereshkigal's eyes were calm, unhurried, endless. She did not speak sharply. She did not scold. She only acknowledged the arrival of one who comes seeking understanding, seeking transformation. Inanna's journey through the underworld was a journey into stillness. She felt the weight of the earth, the silence of the shadows, the patience of time. She realized that in this quiet realm, life and death are not enemies, but partners. Rest is necessary. Pause is sacred. The rhythm of giving and receiving continues, even in silence. For a time, Inanna stayed, not in fear, not in sorrow, but in gentle contemplation. She listened to the quiet. She felt the stillness fill her. She allowed herself to be fully present, entirely contained by the calm of the underworld. And then, with the guidance of patient spirits and her own courage, she returned. She stepped back through the gates slowly, one by one. She reclaimed her adornments gently, as if waking from a long and restful dream. The light of the world above touched her softly, not harshly, not suddenly. It embraced her like a warm breath, like the careful rising of the sun. Inanna returned to life and to the world, renewed, aware of the balance between movement and rest, between doing and being. She carried the stillness within her, even as she walked among flowers, rivers, and people. Her heart was calm. Her mind was steady. Her presence reminded all beings that life is a cycle of energy and quiet, of activity and pause, of light and darkness. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it flow out slowly. Allow your body to sink deeply into the surface beneath you. Let your mind drift like clouds across a quiet sky. Let the world around you grow soft and still. Long ago, in the great city of Uruk, there lived a king named Gilgamesh. He was strong and wise, yet even kings carry restlessness in their hearts. He ruled with courage, but he longed to wander beyond the stone walls, beyond the bustling streets, beyond the everyday life of the city. He longed for the quiet rhythms of the world outside. Gilgamesh spoke to his closest companion, Enkidu, whose spirit had once roamed freely through plains and forests. Together, they dreamed of distant lands, of mountains and rivers untouched by human hands, and of the cedar forest, sacred and timeless, guarded by divine spirits. They spoke slowly, carefully, choosing their words as if planting seeds in the soil. Each word was gentle, each thought deliberate. At dawn, they set out. The morning mist rose slowly over the plains, softening the golden fields. The wind whispered through the reeds and grasses, carrying quiet messages from the distant mountains. Their footsteps were steady, measured, not hurried. They moved with patience, with respect for the land and its hidden rhythms. As they approached the cedar forest, the world seemed to slow, even more. The air grew cool and fragrant with resin and earth. Tall, ancient cedars stretched high into the sky, their crowns brushing the clouds. Sunlight filtered softly through the branches, creating patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. Birdsong drifted gently through the trees, a quiet music, calming and constant. Gilgamesh and Enkidu walked without rush, allowing each step to be felt fully. They noticed the rough texture of bark beneath their hands, the softness of moss underfoot, the quiet hum of life all around them. They felt themselves becoming part of the forest's rhythm, the slow, steady heartbeat of centuries. They came to a clearing where a particularly tall cedar stood. Its trunk was wide and ancient, its roots deep in the earth, and its branches stretching like arms toward the sky. Gilgamesh paused. He laid a hand on the tree and felt the pulse of time itself. For a long moment, he was silent. He breathed slowly, inhaling the soft scent of cedar and earth, and exhaled the tension that had long settled in his body. Enkidu sat on a nearby rock, eyes closed, listening to the forest. The birds, the wind, the soft rustle of leaves, they all became a gentle chorus, a lullaby for the wandering souls. Gilgamesh and Enkidu did not speak. They did not need to. The forest spoke for them. The forest reminded them of patience, of balance, of presence. As the sun climbed higher, small streams glistened like silver ribbons between the trees. Gilgamesh and Enkidu followed the sound of water, letting it guide their steps. The gentle flow of the streams echoed in their minds, softening thoughts, slowing the pulse of the day, grounding them in calm. They paused often, noticing tiny wonders. A bird nesting quietly in the crook of a branch, a small deer stepping carefully among ferns, a single cedar cone resting on a bed of moss, waiting quietly to release its seeds. Every detail, no matter how small, was a reminder that life moves at its own pace, that patience is a form of strength, that stillness carries its own wisdom. The deeper they went into the forest, the taller and more ancient the trees became. Sunlight became dappled and soft, filtering through leaves like delicate lace. They felt the hush of the forest envelop them, a gentle embrace. The noise of the city, the weight of responsibility, and the restlessness of their hearts faded, replaced by calm awareness. At midday, they reached the heart of the forest. Here, the air was thick with quiet, with centuries of life moving slowly. The spirits of the forest, guardians of cedar and stone, watched silently, not with judgment, not with threat, but with patient observation. They reminded Gilgamesh and Enkidu that strength is not only in action, but in stillness. Courage is not only in conquest, but in respect, in listening, in walking gently. Gilgamesh rested his hands on the rough bark of an enormous cedar. He closed his eyes and let the stillness fill him. He felt the slow, steady heartbeat of the forest echo in his own chest. Enkidu sat nearby, breathing in rhythm with the forest, feeling the flow of life in each gentle movement, each soft rustle, each quiet breath. Time passed slowly, softly, without notice. The shadows of leaves shifted. Sunlight moved across the forest floor like gentle water, and the world seemed to exhale, carrying away tension, carrying away worry. When the sun began to descend, painting the sky with muted gold and soft pink, Gilgamesh and Enkidu began their slow journey home. They did not rush. They walked deliberately, letting the calm of the forest stay with them. The leaves whispered, the streams murmured, and the wind followed them, gently guiding their steps. As they emerged from the forest, the city of Uruk appeared in the distance. Yet, even among stone and bustle, their hearts carried the quiet rhythm of the cedar forest. They had learned that the world is vast and full of life, that strength is found in patience, that calmness is as powerful as courage. And now, as you lie here breathing slowly, you too are in a forest of calm. Your thoughts drift like leaves on soft streams. Your breath flows like wind through tall trees. You do not need to rush. You do not need to act. You only need to rest. In the lands of ancient Greece, the earth was ruled by gods and goddesses who cared for life, growth, and the rhythms of the seasons. Among them was Demeter, goddess of the harvest, of fertility, and of the quiet patience that allows seeds to grow. Her heart was steady, her presence nurturing. Where she walked, the fields flourished, and the air was calm and full of gentle warmth. Demeter had a daughter named Persephone, bright and joyful, full of curiosity and life. Persephone wandered among flowers, touched streams with her fingertips, and listened to the soft voices of the wind in the trees. Her laughter was like a breeze, light and calming. One day, while picking flowers in a quiet meadow, Persephone felt the earth tremble beneath her feet. From the soil a dark chariot rose, and Hades, the god of the underworld, emerged. He was not cruel in the way the world fears. He was steady and quiet, like the deep stillness beneath the surface. Hades took Persephone to the underworld, a place of rest, pause, and shadow, where all things sleep before renewal. Demeter, upon discovering her daughter was gone, felt the first deep sorrow. The world above dimmed. Fields slowed their growth. Rivers flowed more quietly. The air itself seemed heavier. Yet even in her sorrow, Demeter moved with patience and care. She searched, but not with haste. She reached out to the gods. She spoke gently to the earth, to the rivers, and to the winds. She asked all to help her, not with anger or shouting, but with steady persistence. At last it was arranged that Persephone could return. But before she left, she had eaten a single pomegranate seed, a gentle binding of shadow and pause. she could not leave the underworld entirely. She would spend part of the year with Hades and part with her mother above. This balance, this rhythm, became the cycles of the seasons. When Persephone was with Demeter, the earth flourished, full of life, color, and gentle warmth. When she descended to the underworld, the earth rested, slowed, and withdrew into quiet shadow. Demeter learned to walk with patience, understanding that both presence and absence carry their own calm. Persephone learned that rest and stillness are as important as movement and play. As you lie here now, breathing slowly, you too are in a cycle of light and shadow. You are allowed to move through your day, and you are allowed to rest at night. You are allowed to grow, and you are allowed to pause. Long ago, in the frozen mountains of the north, there lived a goddess named Skadi. She was strong, independent, and tied to the cold beauty of winter. Her presence brought clarity, calm, and a quiet strength that resonated across icy peaks and silent forests. Skadi had suffered loss and hardship, yet she carried herself with patience and grace. She walked slowly, observing the mountains around her, feeling each stone, each tree, and each falling snowflake as a quiet companion. One morning, Skadi ventured higher into the mountains, beyond the reach of mortal eyes, where snow lay thick and still. The wind whispered through the pines. The soft crunch of snow under her feet was the only sound. She felt the rhythm of the mountains, patient and enduring. With each breath, she aligned herself with their calm strength. Skadi paused at a frozen lake, its surface like glass, reflecting the pale winter sun. She knelt and traced her fingers across the ice, feeling the cold, smooth surface. The quiet reminded her that rest, patience, and stillness are as powerful as action. The mountains did not hurry, yet they endured. The wind did not shout, yet it shaped the land. She wandered among the peaks, observing small details. A fox curling in the snow, a frozen waterfall catching the sunlight, a lone tree bending gently under the weight of ice. Each sight reminded her of balance, harmony, and the gentle persistence of life. Skadi's heart softened as she moved through the landscape. She whispered, "Blessings to the mountains, the streams, and the forests." She felt herself becoming one with the rhythm of winter, embracing both the cold and the calm. As night fell, stars began to shimmer across the sky like tiny lanterns. Skadi settled on a high ridge, looking out across the silent mountains. She let the stillness wash over her. She let the cold bring clarity. She let the quiet teach patience. Feel your body sinking softly into the surface beneath you. Let your mind soften, drifting like calm waves on a quiet sea. Let your awareness float slowly outward until it rests with the gentle rhythm of the ocean. Long ago, in a quiet coastal village of Japan, there lived a kind fisherman named Urashima Taro. Each day, he walked along the shore at sunrise, feeling the soft, cool sand beneath his feet. The waves lapped quietly at the beach, carrying small seashells and driftwood to the sand. The wind whispered through the reeds, bending them softly, and gulls glided in lazy arcs overhead. Taro noticed every detail, every subtle movement, and carried a patient, reflective heart. One morning, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in soft pinks and golds, Taro saw a small turtle struggling against the tide. Its shell glimmered faintly in the morning sun. He knelt slowly, lifted the turtle gently in his hands, and returned it to the calm water. The turtle lingered for a moment, its dark eyes meeting his, and then it disappeared beneath the waves. Taro felt a quiet warmth in his chest, the soft understanding that small acts of kindness ripple outward, much like the tide itself. That night, Taro dreamed. In the dream, the small turtle returned, glowing with a gentle light. It spoke to him softly, inviting him to visit the Dragon Palace, an underwater realm of serene beauty, wisdom, and timeless calm. Taro felt no fear, only curiosity and a deep, gentle trust. He allowed himself to follow, sinking slowly beneath the water, letting the currents embrace him. The ocean welcomed him with soft, rolling waves. Sunlight filtered down in gentle beams dancing across the water and illuminating schools of small fish as they glided gracefully around him. Seaweed swayed slowly, rhythmically, as though breathing along with him. The distant song of whales echoed softly, blending with the quiet rush of water currents. Taro's body felt weightless, his mind softened. Every breath became slow, full, and harmonious with the rhythm of the sea. As he descended deeper, he saw the faint glow of the Dragon Palace emerge from the shadows. The palace rose like a vision of quiet elegance, coral pillars encrusted with pearls, delicate arches formed by sculpted shells, and luminous gardens that seemed to float in the water itself. The soft light shimmered across the halls, reflecting in gentle patterns on the ocean floor. Taro entered the palace slowly, letting his eyes take in the calm splendor. Schools of fish swirled gracefully around coral gardens, their scales reflecting subtle flashes of color. A soft current carried petals and tiny shells through the halls. Every movement felt purposeful yet unhurried, a dance of patience and quiet understanding. The Dragon King and Queen appeared, not with force or grandeur, but with calm dignity and warmth. They greeted Taro with a gentle bow, inviting him to explore and to rest in the serene stillness of the palace. Taro wandered along smooth stone paths, tracing the faint patterns of ocean waves in the floors beneath his feet. He paused often, noticing the delicate sway of coral, the tiny ripples in quiet pools, the gentle glimmer of light in the scales of passing fish. Everything moved in harmony, teaching him a slow, deliberate rhythm of life. Time in the palace was not measured by hours or minutes, but by the gentle pulse of the currents and the soft shifting of light. Taro rested often on smooth stones, letting schools of small fish brush past him softly, letting the water carry away tension and thought. He felt the pulse of the ocean in his own chest, a steady, unhurried rhythm that calmed every part of his being. He explored secret gardens of coral and pearls, small grottos filled with luminous plants, and quiet alcoves where the light from above shimmered like sunlight through a crystal prism. Every detail was soft, harmonious, and soothing, a gentle reminder that beauty and wisdom are patient, unfolding slowly with observation and presence. After what felt like long, calm hours, the Dragon King approached him. He handed Taro a small, ornate box, the Tamatobako, with instructions to open it only when it was truly needed. Taro accepted it with gratitude, feeling the quiet weight of its importance. He rose slowly, letting the currents carry him upward, guiding him back toward the surface. As he ascended, the water shifted from deep blues to lighter aquamarines, until finally, the sunlight above glimmered like warm gold across the waves. The shore of his village appeared in the distance, soft and familiar, the reeds swaying gently in the breeze. The ocean whispered around him, its gentle music a reminder of the calm, slow rhythm he had carried from the Dragon Palace. Taro stepped onto the beach, slowly, letting the sand sink beneath his feet. He looked back at the sea with soft, steady eyes. The palace beneath the waves remained with him, echoing in his mind and his chest, teaching him patience, presence, and the quiet power of calm observation. All the stories you've heard tonight, the journeys through ancient forests, rivers, mountains, and oceans, are now resting within you. The courage of heroes, the calm of wise gods, and the gentle rhythm of the natural world all move softly through your mind. You do not need to carry anything with you now. All you need is to rest. Feel the calm spreading from the top of your head, down through your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your back, your legs, all the way to your feet. With each breath, the calm grows deeper, slower, softer. Every muscle, every thought, every part of you is ready to rest. The night surrounds you like a gentle embrace. Your breath flows naturally. Your heart beats steady and calm. You are safe. You are at peace. You are exactly where you need to be. Let yourself drift, like leaves on a quiet river, like clouds across a calm sky, like snow settling softly on silent mountains. You do not need to wake. You do not need to worry. You only need to rest deeply, fully, peacefully. Sleep well, sleep deeply. And when morning comes, you will awaken, rested, refreshed, and calm. Good night.